Sound good?
Let's go. We up.
All right, fam. Welcome to another edition of That's Debatable.
Right.
My name is Ryan Dietrich, here with my guys, Jeremiah Bays and Will Ward. How we doing, fellas?
What up? What up? What up? How y'all doing?
What's up, everybody? I'm sending out links. Excuse me for being on my phone.
It's all good. Yeah, we go live. We got to share the love, as it were.
Well, you guys share it also. Do us a favor. Thank you for tuning in. And welcome to the Wednesday night edition of That's Debatable.
All right, fam. There you go.
Sound check good for bass.
And join us in the chat. Anybody who jumps in, I can kind of monitor that here, so we're good to roll. AD, if you're out there watching, let me know what you got, comments, things like that. And I was thinking maybe we'll even open the phone lines a little later, but we'll see. So last week when we were here was the middle of Game 3. Game 3 was happening while we were on the air. Boston took that at home. We had Game 4 on Saturday or Friday and Sunday, right?
Yeah, Friday and Sunday.
Friday night, Sunday night was Game 4 and Game 5. Obviously, I'm talking about the NBA Finals. Boston Celtics and the Golden State Warriors. Most of you know that if you've been following along. So we were live during Game 3. Game 4 Friday night, man. Steph turned it on. Friday night was, we'll see if Game 6 Klay shows up. We'll debate that here after a bit.
Hey,
but
I like Game 5, Klay.
He did play pretty well.
He didn't play that bad.
Game 4, Steph Curry's 43 points was definitely
needed.
Game changer.
Definitely might have put a stamp on that MVP that they keep trying to say other people had grabbed.
Well, and they about blew that. I mean, they were close to wasting a 43-point performance from Curry as Boston was up 5 with 4 to play. Golden State goes on a 13-2 run. And everybody, all the talk was about, Steph Curry's 43 points. But they were dangerously close, like I said, to losing that. And it's a whole different series if that's the case. But Golden State hung on, took Game 4. Turned around, Game 5 went back to Oakland, to the Chase Arena. Golden State took care of Game 5, 2 in a row. So headed back to Boston tomorrow night, Thursday, 9 o'clock on ABC. So we'll get into what's going to happen and kind of how we got here. So I'd like to talk a little bit about Game 4. If you guys want to break down a little bit, your thoughts. I mean, was that a Curry performance? Like I said, I keep saying that. Not many other people are talking about it, but I think they escaped one, man. Boston kind of blew it at the end there. Giving up 14-15 down the stretch.
I mean, it was close all the way through, but I think it was more of just a fall apart there in the fourth quarter for Boston. I mean, they kept it close for, like I said, a while, but you're starting to see that big turnover aspect really come alive, that when Boston turns the ball over, Golden State's going and figuring out how to get points and getting them fast. So I think that's number one that Boston has to figure out in order to get back into this series here in Game 6 tomorrow. You got to figure out how to stop Curry. I mean, Game 4, that was, like you said, he dropped 43 points. And after him, that game, it wasn't much to stop Wiggins contributed with 17 points, and like Curry had 18, or Thompson had 18. But I think it's more of a Boston falling apart than it is Golden State putting the gas on, because like, if they can limit not only the turnovers but the execution, because Golden State is a experienced team, as we already know. Boston is a young team, and it's definitely showing at this point. So I think that's what the number one thing has to be, is execution and not making the sloppy mistakes that's going to cost you in the end.
Yeah, you start point guard, also can't have 2 assists.
Well, who is Boston's starting point guard?
I mean, allegedly, it's the defensive player of the year.
Yeah, that's Marcus Smart. That's not I wouldn't call him a point guard.
See, this is the problem when you got the three of us instantly just, allegedly, who is it? Who is it? DPOY, like, that's not a good thing for a finals
I also don't think he should have been a defensive player of the year, but, I don't think
that's debatable.
It is. I mean, I was in favor of Jaren Jackson and or my man's in Phoenix, Bridges. Jaren Jackson Jr.
Oh, Jaren Jackson. I heard, Miss Nasty, Janet Jackson.
Oh, nah, not Janet. She got a different MVP. But that's beside the point.
That's right.
Maybe the greatest Super Bowl halftime
Facts.
performance.
Indeed.
Most memorable, but we ain't talking about that right now.
She's queen. I can remember where I was, playing cards in the basement out at Cody Buskirk's house during the halftime of that Super Bowl.
Shout out Cody. I don't know where I was. I just remember seeing Justin Timberlake. I just remember wishing I was Justin at that moment.
Oh, okay.
No, he had the best seat.
But back to Boston, people. Back to Boston.
Where did the cord at?
What up? I am Paul J. Jumping in the chats, you got that right. Curry did not go crazy in Game 5. Just kind of did his little thing. And yeah,
but it was another player
we're gonna
that
get
did.
to Jason Tatum. Tatum's got to go crazy tomorrow. We'll get to that when we get to our predictions. But you're right on the money early. So yeah, keep going, Jer. We interrupted you when you were talking about Boston don't have a point guard.
We don't. I mean, that's why Jason Tatum is leading in turnovers right now. He got to do too much with the ball, and he just really should just set up. He's good throwing passes and all, but he's best when he can be set up and score. I think he do got his nice little ISO move on the top wing or at the top center, and he'll pull up on you. But it's easier, and nobody's there to get him easier shots. Derek White isn't really. He's a backup player, not really not a floor general.
Right.
And Marcus Smart's strength isn't the offense on the offensive end at all. Like, let Marcus Smart beat you. He might hit. If he hitting, it could be a long night. But for the most part, you can leave him open. And I like to say that with the 2K term, Marcus Smart be out there selling. He be selling his team.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
yeah, it's a 2K term.
He's selling this thing.
So you're talking about. So yeah, Jason Tatum running point guard, too much ISO ball. Do they need to run a little more like high pick and roll with Robert Williams? He's made a pretty big impact in the paint and on the boards. I think he's been doing a good job in his limited minutes and kind of the role that he's fit. He's a good player, and he's a big dude. Do they need to –
100%.
Because too much ISO ball seems
Yeah.
They can handle a little bit of it, but like you said, Tatum's doing too much. Would something like that help out? Robert Williams coming up, a little more of that kind of working off of that, or is that – not in his kind of wheelhouse?
I think Robert Williams has to get real physical, and then you bring in off the bench Daniel Tice. I want to see more of Tice coming in off of the bench and getting physical with Golden State, because the size difference is impetuous. It's quite off the charts, because you can get down in the paint with Al Horford. You can go, like I said, bring in Tice, and they really have to start dominating more, not only just on the defensive side, as we already stated, but when you get those offensive chances and you're not getting the shot that you want, you got to be able to get physical and getting those offensive rebounds. So I want to see them, like you said, maybe be a little bit more pick and roll, start dominating those guys and stop letting them get those easy defensive stops on them and letting them turn the ball over. Calm yourself down, take your time, do what it takes, but they have to start playing big man ball in
Who's
order
going
to
to do
win.
that? Who is the guy on that team that's going to be like, yo, it's time to chill? Like,
That's the defensive player of the year, Marcus Smart.
You got to slow down right
quote
now.
unquote point guard, and then you're going to bring in Grant Williams and see what he can do. But I think it has to be a more team collective effort and stop just. I don't know, they playing sloppy ball at times, and we seen it, I believe it was game 3, where Golden State capitalized and got 33 points off the turnovers. But it has to be more of a clean-cut game, high percentage shots. Tatum has to leave everything on the court, channel Kobe, have that Mamba mentality, and really get locked in and get focused, man.
Mamba mentality.
The Mamba mentality has to come out. He said he called him during, when he was getting Jimmy buckets out the way. Yep. And now it's time for you to show up, man, because you really haven't shown off none this whole entire finals.
The only thing about that specific game where he quote unquote text Kobe's number, I got you today. Oh, that meant he showed up that day. But they were one jump shot away from still going home.
Ask Michael Jordan and how that was back in Utah when he had that game winning shot. That's one shot, one bucket. You only get one shot, and tomorrow is win or go home. It's win or go home. So you got to do whatever you got to do, whether it's get your, you channel your Paul Pierce, your Kevin Garnett, get that Ray Allen clutch 3-point shot under your belt. You have to do something in order to not go home tomorrow, going fishing. You got to go back to Golden State and ready to get hyphy. You going back to San Francisco and trying to come back to Boston. And that's the number one thing they have right now. They're going to be at home, even though they haven't played the best, quote unquote, at home this playoffs. But you only get one shot, as Eminem said.
5 games at home now.
We understand that, but they also have won 6. Correct. It was 5-4 coming into the series. If they lost one, they won one.
Well, yeah.
So 6 and 5, staying alive, man. Staying alive. That's all you gotta do is stay alive.
That's barely afloat.
It's barely afloat, but you win the finals, man. I don't believe the baby Bulls even had a chance. LeBron, them, Russell, AD, all the guys that came before them. And if you want to come from the East and Brooklyn, where Brooklyn at? We don't know right now. We don't know where they
still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, they trying to figure it out. But one thing that Boston has to figure out, and they have to do it quick and play 4 quarters of precise basketball, because Curry and Wiggins and Clay and fake Clay, hey, he may be banned out of San Francisco, but he may show up in Boston tomorrow and put that man maybe in the game to sub out for Clay.
Dude, there you go.
Because he got a couple of buckets early in that game.
We ain't got that clip.
He got a couple of buckets in that game.
The fake, oh man.
So if you see fake Clay come in,
see if we can track it down.
Or at least he had the statement. He showed everything. He walked in. I don't even think.
It was clutch.
So on a side note, he never should have been banned. That's messed up. I felt like he should have got courtside seats.
Security purpose, sir.
Nah, that's the security flaw.
That's a security flaw that obviously San Francisco has to come up with. But I mean, when does Clay show up out of the Maybach or whatever he drove to that game?
Clay rides a bike to the game.
That's another clip that we should have pulled up. Make sure you follow all of our social media platforms. I may end up showing it. But he wasn't in a bike. He was in a nice little ride that night.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
For the most part, I see clips of him riding the bike, and they even had a video of him talking about him on the bike. But fake Clay, that's hilarious. He should have never got banned up for life. Because I shot on the court. Because y'all let me shoot on the court.
But am I
6'7" right now?
Right.
Like, I know I look like him in the face, but how tall was the dude? That's what I want to know. Clay's kind of a big guy.
What is Clay?
6'7". No, he's 6'7".
I want to know if he got banned for life. What happened to the people that let him in?
Employees.
Are they unemployed at this point? Like, you just had a
with
major...
a real Klay Thompson, please stand up. I need you to,
to back him up.
Hey, Lil Durk got the fake Lil Durky, yo. He done brought him on stage. I need you to fix this, Clay. I need you to fix this and get your fake Clay. Like, you could use him for so many things. They probably could have used him when your Achilles was broke. Like, is that a
you got a stunt double sneaking him out like the club and stuff. Yeah. Shove him first.
Hey, but it could work.
I was wondering
he
about
might play good defense.
Put him in and let Tatum expose him. That's all that has to happen. Let Marcus Smart get into his chest.
My boy Wiggy got him clamped up right now.
You think the Jokic brothers look like Jokic? You get the Jokic brothers to sub in for his bro?
Man, they need to sub in and get their own brother some toughness.
Like, it's one thing to shoot out there when there's nobody in the court in the arena. There's no pressure on you. He looked good when it was no Marcus Smart, Jason Tatum, and the rest of the cast. He looked good when he was out there, but when the lights come on, man, it's a total different ball game.
I agree with you. I think the permanent ban was too much, man.
Yeah, for sure.
But on the other side, like, especially in this country where we got people walking into buildings and shooting up the place for no reason, that was the first thing that came to my mind was like, man, they got, that's funny. Good for
but
him.
He still went through the security clearance.
I know.
So
He was
like,
innovative.
No guns
he got the guy
like
with
that.
the camera following him, but just one of those, like, kind of, double-edged. Hilarious, funny, very creative for that dude. But also,
That sucks, though. But now you telling me I can't come to the game?
Come on,
like,
Jason.
I'm an actual Warriors fan.
Right.
I'm an actual Warriors fan. It ain't my fault I look like homie.
He created a lot of publicity for them, man. They should be paying him.
Not even, but he gonna be known as
Too much
fake
attention
Clay.
now, man. That's why they not focused right now.
Hey,
and that's
man,
why Boston has to.
I should have tried to get in the Garden. I had a phase where I was looking like Melo. I should have tried to see if that'll work.
Next topic.
For real.
Come on, Melo with the hoodie. Was it Melo with the hoodie?
Bro, if you look at some pictures of Carmelo Anthony, bro, I look like him in the face. But besides that, that's best
Previously, I
stuff.
look like Michael Jordan.
All right, you said next topic.
It's probably a old white woman, huh?
All right, Steph Curry's pretty much got the MVP locked up. Is there any way Andrew Wiggins wins it?
Are you making a
If he
case for
has
winning?
another performance the way that he did in Game 5, then it's possible.
My God.
If anything is possible, shout out to Kevin Garnett.
Nah, not in this case.
When you stand up and take charge the way that Wiggins did, and I stated that in one of the old episodes, he was going to be an X factor for this finals. And definitely in Game 5, he showed up, showed off, and showed out. And it can happen again, but the chances of it's the same way from Game 1 as Al Horford doing what he did again. It's not getting any easier to repeat the top performance that you may have had. It's getting slim to none chance. So I would put my money more on Steph.
Oh, for sure.
Because of the riding off into the sunset, if they can get it done tonight, I think
do you think Wiggins could steal it? Did
if he
do
has
enough?
the performance that he had in Game 5,
Give it
he
a,
can
like,
steal it. But if not,
5% chance.
it depends who comes out and has the hot hand tonight. So if they happen to win it tonight, whoever tomorrow, excuse me. Thank you.
Only team winning tonight is the Lightning.
No,
Sorry, Ryan.
wrong.
But
we'll get to that too.
all right, man. Now that you said that, no,
All right,
it's
puck
not.
drop.
What do you? Anybody
Underway.
got Wiggins stats for me? No, I can't. I don't remember. I know he had an impressive game. I want to say about 24, 26 points. Of course, he's doing a tremendous job on Jason Tatum. Don't get me wrong.
See,
I've always
that's
been
where his
pro
MVP
Wiggins.
performance comes in. He was an NBA All-Star game starter too, and everybody raised hell about that during
And
the
my boy
season.
Katie picked him up.
A lot of people were like, "Man, what
He was
disrespecting
averaging
him
a
for being
smooth-
an All-Star MVP, man."
He says he will average a sleepy 20 the rest of his career. I say sleepy because it's just you look up. Well, Wiggins had how much?
Dude, in
it's
game-
one of them. Unless he punch on somebody or do something super spectacular, it's outside of he really put on a showcase this last game though, taking them into the mid range, posting them up, doing a turnaround. Somebody said he was looking like Michael Jordan out
Dude,
there.
his step
I feel
through
like
the lane was
that's a reach.
nice.
He was out there looking like a young Kawhi to me. I say he was looking like Kawhi Leonard on the offensive defensive end. And
Yeah,
the way
you
he
can't
was
just
killing
go
in the
straight
mid-
to he looks like MJ. He
just because
looks,
somebody killing in the mid range don't mean they gotta be Mike. You
he
feel me?
looked like D Wade a little bit, a little flash through there or something. Or all right, Game 4, Wiggins had 17 points, 16 rebounds, 2 assists, but he was plus 20.
Yeah, because a lot of good stuff happens when he's on the court, and when he got his counterpart on the other end minus whatever, no matter how many points that he put up, he's gonna do that. But like I said, I want to give Wiggins his flower. A lot of people counted Wiggins out. I always liked Wiggins, but I was pro Jabari in the beginning. I seen that Jason Tatum's little tweet from back in the day been floating around with the Jabari Parker's better than Jason Tatum. I wish we could pull it up. I didn't screenshot that, but it is out there on Twitter at Real Debatable. But I've always liked Wiggins. I always felt like he didn't get his fair shot. I felt like he also
bad
he
spot.
could have stayed in Cleveland. I felt like he really could have been an asset for what the Cavs had, but I know of course the Cleveland and the Kevin Love thing. Minnesota's Minnesota. And of course, my guy Jimmy Butler went there, kind of exposed Wiggins and Cat for that little softness. Wiggins had a reboot. The king of rebuild, he went over there in the Bay, got right, and now look at him. But saying all that, no, he's not no MVP, no Finals MVP, none of that. My man Steph, even with his bad performance, he's averaging 30.6, 5.8 rebounds, and 4.6 assists. On his bad night, he didn't shoot the ball well, so that's it. But so he brought 16 and 8 to the table. So he let everybody else eat. Clay stepped up. I knew Clay hit his stride by Game 5. And then, of course, we know Game 6 Clay is going to happen tomorrow. But no matter who have a big performance tomorrow, as long as Steph be Steph, so instead of going 0 for 9, he's more like 4 for 9 or something like that, even if he's off, kind of. But if Steph be Steph and he's dang near in 26, 28 points, Steph would really have to be off and they have to lose, and that like a super bad game. I'm talking about a LeBron James 2011 8 points type finals, and then somebody else, if Wiggins step up again or Klay Thompson step up again in the closeout game. But I feel like number one, they owe Steph Curry this Finals MVP, so that's in his favor. But it's not like they're going to give it to him. I feel like he already won it after his Game 4 performance. After what he did in Boston, 43 points.
It was pretty much locked up. Everybody was just,
Everybody been talking about it. All the NBA players was going crazy. LeBron James is drooling over this man right now.
Yeah, it's everybody.
I don't know what's going on.
I'd give Wiggins something crazy happens.
He doesn't have a shot.
He ain't gonna get it, but it's
I'd
say 5% chance.
That's too much. 5% other, because if Klay
we're playing the. Don't you watch PTI when they do their?
Yeah.
They got one of those segments where they do percentages.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, it's Steph's and he got it in the bag. But it's already locked, still waiting.
If Tatum blows up games 5, and if Tatum takes off 6 and 7 and Boston wins it, Curry ain't. If Boston wins, Curry won't get it.
The loser doesn't need a Finals MVP. There's only been one Finals MVP. There's only been one Finals MVP loser, and that's Jerry West. And that's in the first Finals MVP ever. Like, he lost that Finals in 7 games, I believe, and he won the Finals MVP, which he probably shouldn't have won it then. And, of course, you got the great LeBron fans of the 2015 Finals of the numbers he put up.
Yep, don't care.
Yeah, of course. But they feel like, I don't know how you could win a Finals MVP in a 6-game series anyway. For the loser, you got to at least take them 7 games on the brink and lose by like a super heartbreaking shot in order to be the loser and still be the most valuable player of the Finals.
All right. Will, give me Boston's Game 6 advantages.
Number one, you at home. You got the crowd behind you.
Is that a home court advantage for Boston?
At home. You got home cooking. No matter if you haven't had the best record, like I've already said, you're not played the best. This is one game. This is your last game of the season at home. So you owe it to your fans. If you don't even do it for yourself, you got to try to go out there and leave it on the court for your fans. So that's the one thing that I think is going to back them more than anything. 2, this isn't the first game that you've played Golden State. So you know what happens when the first half starts. It doesn't even matter about what's going in the first half, because the second half is what's determining this game. So you have the experience now. You have the knowledge. That narrative of not being the more experienced team and being the younger team has to get thrown out the window. Stats have to get thrown out the window. You have to just come out there and leave it all on the court. So the advantage that they have is now that you know what to expect now. This isn't your first go-round. So, like I said, leave it all on the court. Get physical with these guys. Get physical with Draymond before he gets physical with you.
Impossible.
Anything is possible. Like I said, you're going to have Kevin Garnett probably in the building this week. You're going to have Larry Bird, Larry Legend in the building this week.
I'm just playing case.
Tomorrow is do or die, and that Mamba mentality has to come out of Tatum and be a real leader and not just a cheerleader, because you're the number one on the team, as they say. Show it, man. Jaylen Brown has to show up and show out. Marcus Smart has to play the defensive player of the year type of defense and really lead that team. He does a good job speaking it and motivating those guys, but he has to show up this tomorrow.
And some of that will come from if Tatum elevates his game, and that's what good players do. That's what great players do, is elevate the play of the other teams. And so far, we haven't seen Tatum doing much of that. He's helping his teammates a little bit, but it's inconsistencies. Can't just put it all together. So Tatum's going to have to get rolling, and he's going to have to get Jaylen Brown rolling, who I think could potentially Jaylen Brown could be the new Beard, just because he has such a nice beard. That thing is thick. He's just got to elevate his play. So I was watching that yesterday. I was like, man, Harden's kind of out of this. You don't see the trolley Harden gummy bears anymore, the beards. It's like, maybe there's time for a new beard.
It's called trolley? I always called it trolley.
Really? I call it trolley. That's debatable.
I call it trolley. That's one of my favorite candies.
Oh, dude, they're the best. I always
thought
I wanted to go work for them.
Yeah, the Harden was good. The shoe one, especially the shoe one, not even the ones with the beard. He had the shoe one too. But yeah.
So yeah, he could be the new Beard.
Nah, I think Jaylen. But if Jaylen Brown did have a bad game, but he's been the most consistent Celtic in this finals. If the Celtics do somehow come back and win, then it'll go. I think Jaylen Brown will be the Finals MVP, but that's not gonna happen. Warriors in 6, and I've been saying that. So, and I got that.
You got that. I got him in 7.
It's not going 7. Warriors in 6, but I think it's gonna be a lot like Devin Booker in Game 7 where he didn't show up. I see a lot of these wannabe Kobe guys. They're not the Mamba, man. And they don't have his mentality.
I wonder about that too. They're just pretty, flashing it too much and saying it too much.
They're pretty boys. Like I get the whole impact that Kobe has had on these young men. Now people don't like this comparison, but the closest thing that I've seen to somebody who went to the Mamba school and has that Mamba mentality is my man Kyrie Irving. They don't like me saying that, but when it really comes to the game of basketball and really somebody who has a killer instinct, Mamba mentality, that's my man Kai. But I think that Tatum ain't gonna show up. He gonna have a this ain't gonna be. I heard some people saying that what he did in Game 6 versus Milwaukee, and he kind of out. Giannis had like 40 something, but he outshined Giannis in Game 6 and 7. I don't see that happening. If Milwaukee would have had Middleton, I think that series still go different. What you see?
I thought I saw a thing earlier about.
But yeah, now Tatum ain't showing up.
No, Vanessa Bryant's tribute to the White Mamba, Diana Taurasi. So when you were talking about the Black Mamba, I saw that earlier today, and I was like, wait a minute. It's like, who would be? You said, who's the other? Who's the closest to that school? Diana Taurasi.
Oh, but that's in a WNBA.
What's the difference?
They're women and they're men. That's what I'm in.
She can ball, man.
She can ball, but she's old, and I'm keep seeing her getting yelled at by Skylar Diggins. She's in like year 18, 19 or something like that.
She can still ball. She ball you out the gym, bro.
Yeah, she probably would ball me out the gym. Right. But as far as these other women out there,
anyway, Vanessa Bryant, Kobe's wife, called her the White Mamba. So
yeah, I think that is her nickname. There's also another White Mamba, Brian Scalabrine.
That came up, and that's why I was laughing about it originally. It's what in the world?
I think he got hot one game, and then they start calling him that. Yeah, it's a clip out there. It's a clip out there. Brian Scalabrine. People thought that they could regular people thought that they thought Brian was sweet and they could just hoop on him. He went out there and showed them why he was called the White Mamba. But nah, it's only one person who I see that really got that killer Mamba mentality, and that's my man Kai. And if you don't believe me, just go watch the Game 7 of 2016. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, Tatum ain't showing up. I feel like it's gonna be like Booker Game 7 versus Dallas
tomorrow or in Game 7.
It's not going 7.
I'm gonna ask you again, just so that we can
tomorrow.
Get on camera.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Jason Tatum. You lucky I don't got his middle name, or otherwise I use that. But Jason Tatum, unfortunately, the young brother not gonna show up, and I feel like they're not even gonna kill him for it. Because I've already seen him not really being killed for it. The debate before this finals was, is Jason Tatum a superstar? I'm pretty sure that debate will probably come to a pause for a little second. But that's about it. Yep. They're not going to kill him. I feel like they're going to talk about Marcus Smart more.
Dude, they really he has...
They also playing with house money.
Yeah, he hasn't really been... For where he could have taken like the conversation about his play... Yeah, well, I mean, early on we've talked about, what's he going to do? Is this, big time? This could have been the NBA Finals that he takes off and shows his team and elevates himself to superstardom. But yeah, it's really, the conversation hasn't gone the other way, but like you said, it's kind of paused or plateaued. Good call. It's toasty in here. 103 outside and it's 95 in here. His middle name is Cole, Jason Christopher Tatum Sr.
Well, you're going to have to step up
pompous
just to quiet the naysayers.
Tatum.
Sounds like a pretty boy can't win the NBA Finals.
Pretty boy. Hey, he got a face for the camera. I'm not going to dispute that.
All right. So, yeah, correct. Yeah, good looking.
You seen his Ruffles commercial?
So that's totally part of, like, superstardom, right?
Right.
Market, good looking people who was I thinking of?
The babyface assassin?
He's all over the place.
No, there's somebody else.
Jason Tatum got that one commercial. Steph Curry got it. Yeah.
There was somebody I was thinking of that hasn't. I can't remember. It'll come to me. But I was thinking about that. Like, good looking totally has something to do with the conversations about being a superstar and marketability and the face of the league and all that. Bit.
I hear my name in that comparison every once in a while.
Talking about your boy.
Probably one of us.
Hey, it sounds what this sound like. Hey, I can put on a long sleeve cover with the tattoos. I always knew not to get nothing on my face or neck.
Right. Hey, if you want to do any work, modeling work with either me or my man Jeremiah, make sure you hit us in the chat or hit us in the DM on all our social media platforms. Right. You can see mine right here, Will Ward 288. And let's do some business, people. We
put out the 12-month calendar.
Right.
We each get 4 months.
I like the way that sounds already. We can do a team effort.
I'm weak. I'm watching myself.
It's Pride Month. It's Pride Month, man. Any calendars for everyone.
Hey, a debatable calendar.
There you go, man.
Well, the calendar of it,
all about marketing, right?
It's all about marketing. I need debatable everything. I want a debatable bucket hat. We want to work on a debatable merch. It's coming. But anyway, Jason Tatum ain't gonna show up. Is he a superstar? That question will be thrown out until next year. It's gonna be an overthrow like a Drew Lock pass to Metcalf.
So all right, wow. Let's die. Yeah.
Okay.
So
just getting them up.
What? Give me some specifics.
What you mean?
Give me the specific Golden State Warriors advantages tomorrow night in Game 6. How are they going to do it?
Been there, done that. That sounds like a cliche.
Elaborate.
I'm about to say, elaborate. Yeah, that sounds like a cliche. But I just feel like, of course, their experience, the feel of not wanting to go back home. Draymond Green already talking about Steph is delighted to have this game. So I'm expecting a big game from Steph tomorrow. Clay dropped 26 last game, I believe, the leading scorer. And 5 for 11 from 3. I'm expecting him to ramp that up a little bit. 11 shots will probably still be around there, but he should be somewhere around 8. The Wiggins is gonna do what Wiggins do, and they're gonna make him, and they're gonna frustrate him. I know Boston. I don't expect Boston to roll over. I don't. But if they do, yeah, that's gonna be.
It's not happening, man. Roll over.
I thought the same.
Game 6.
I
winner
thought
go home.
I know this is a different series and team, but I thought Phoenix was gonna go out there and lay it all on the floor.
Yep.
Got rolled. If let the Warriors come out like they did in Game 5, hot, because they were smoking out the gate as a team, and I think they're gonna keep.
Boston knuckled up with them. They didn't just let them run away with it.
Boston was 2 minutes away from winning Game 4. I mean, you can say they folded a little bit. Or Golden State just put it on, clamped down defense, but Boston has came back from. They did it Monday night. They were down 16, tied it up. I mean, they're 8-0. The only team that quits when they're ahead is Golden State. Or, excuse me, quits when they're down is Golden State. I feel like a couple times in this series, when they get down 15, they look
depleted.
Yeah, man.
They wait till the next game and go back to the drawing board. Boston don't got that
NBA
luxury.
Finals Game 6, they cannot do that tomorrow.
I don't think they will. I think they want this championship, and since they taste it and they tasted the champagne before, they're definitely going to get it. Like I said, Boston.
Avalanche are up 1-0.
All right, it's early.
Who's got the goal?
I told you, man, the Lightning about to
Gabriel
man.
Landeskog. All right.
My man,
Captain.
My man Kucherov is about to get it done.
The Norse god of hockey.
Man, listen here.
Nikita Kucherov. 2:44 in ice time right now. He's currently on the ice.
But
update. All right.
What we got going on in the chat? Booker. Hold up. What? Nappy Beard 24K.
What? Jason Tatum ain't got a nappy beard. Who said that?
Nah, this is that's somebody's name.
Oh.
Go Blue. Okay, I think I know who this is.
Big. He's right though. Nappy beard. I wonder if you missed the. Hey, Nappy Beard 24K. You think Jason Tate? You think Jaylen Brown could be the new Beard? It's gonna be the new Beard. Is my call.
Ryan, I'm about to email you these.
Yeah, throw them in here. Big Al do need to show up. Agreed. What up, Case? The Welch's Grape Juice Man is in the building. That's Casey from Boston. He was down there. I think they went down Friday or Saturday, whenever that game was. Him and his lady, a bunch of fans. He said it was nuts. They were lined up at some bar right across from TD Garden.
Hey, Casey has your number, man. Tell him to call in. That's a live Boston guy. Let's see. He's the one who went to a game before, correct?
That's right.
Yeah, he was telling us about when the KD game.
What up, homie? Get on it.
Yeah, man. Let's hear your take on it.
Hey, I just emailed
I'm riding with
my
you
big
guys.
Al. Hold on.
It's nothing like a hometown native to let us hear what you got to say, your own hometown take. Nigga goes for anybody else in the chat that's watching now. Call in. Let us know what you got to say about the finals, both NHL, NBA. Let's hear your take.
If you're watching live, hopefully watching the NHL finals.
Go ahead.
I've liked TNT's up until now. It's on ESPN and ABC, but I like TNT's coverage. I thought they did a pretty good job. So.
I know that all of the responsibility. Would you say all of the responsibility is going to rely on Kemper, or how do you feel? I mean, the goalie has to be the number one.
Oh, we're switching to the Lightning now. Okay.
Players, as far as making sure your team wins. If they can't score, they can't win.
Yeah, and that's so as far the matchup goes. Tampa Bay Lightning, their goalie Andrei Vasilevsky is a stud. He's like 27. He's been playing lights out for the last few years. Avalanche side, Darcy Kemper has been playing his ass off. Throughout the playoffs, he got hurt.
You could say
he was banged up a little bit, so their backup had to come in, Pavel Francouz. So they've both been good. They both are not as good a goalie as the opponent. But the help they have is that the Avalanche offensive attack is so strong. They spend a lot of time with the puck in the other end of the zone. And the Avalanche has got a good defense, too. You get a few bodies that can get in there and block some shots from even getting to the goalie, and a little bit of just how they operate as a defense, limit time of possession in their zone, some things like that, winning face-off, some of that control. So a lot of the big bodies, Colorado doesn't clog up the crease quite as much as I sometimes like to see. They don't have quite the huge bodies that can kind of do that thing, but their strength comes from their offensive prowess and their speed, which helps out their goalie a lot. But Darcy Kemper, I think his save percentage is like .902, which is pretty good. Probably in that top third of the pack. He'd probably be a top third goalie out of the 32 teams. I'd say he's probably a top 12 would be my guess. I'd have to look up some stats, but so that's my guess. Or that's my opinion.
So the Avalanche, one of their scores was 8-6, right? Was that one of their games?
Yeah, game.
Was that in the conference finals?
Let me look it up real quick. I don't think so.
So do they normally give up a lot of points?
They usually give up a few. Yeah, they give few. I think they're giving up goal. What's up, Case? Oh, god dang, hang on.
Gonna get it worked out, people.
All right, what
up,
bro?
Hey, fellas, it's Casey. How's it going?
What up, man?
What up, bro?
Oh, I just figured I'd call in since you invited me to. It's been exciting in Boston. The city was the most alive I've seen it the other night.
It's going to be real dead tomorrow.
Since COVID and everything. Everybody was out. The lines for the bars were literally around, like, the block. It was, 200-300 people deep. There's a dive bar that I go to. Shout out to Porter's Bar and Grill in the west part of Boston, right by the TD Garden. And we got lucky and got a table. And everything was excellent except for the loss. Because it was exciting, and the team they're a good basketball team. They just need to take care of the basketball.
That's it.
But will they? You got the two leading turnover artists in the NBA right now. Jason Tatum has the most turnovers in NBA history, I believe.
That is correct.
In the playoffs. I think he just
and Marcus Smart makes me nervous.
Marcus Smart had 2 assists last game.
Why does Marcus Smart make you nervous, though?
Well, he makes me nervous because he drives to the basket or to the baseline, and then he'll get in the air before he has any, a decision on what he's going to do with the ball. The only thing he can do is a bailout pass, and it ends up getting turned over, or he gets lucky and finds someone.
I got you. I hate when they do that. Jump before you make a decision. That's like rule 1.
Yeah.
Hey,
you never jump the pass. It's fundamental basketball.
Yep. John Morant does that a lot. Derrick Rose did that a lot.
All right, Case.
Russell Westbrook.
You've heard our predictions.
Does that a lot.
Jared and I got Golden State winning it tomorrow. Boston has got Boston winning Game 6. You got a prediction?
Boston winning Game 6 too.
Oh wait, yeah,
you got Warriors in 7.
7.
Yeah, but
Good call.
All right, Case, what's your take tomorrow? You going down?
I think Boston. No, I unfortunately have coronavirus.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Man.
oh man, get better, get well.
Yeah, I will, but I'll be watching at home intently. And I think Boston's going to win tomorrow night, but I don't know if they're going to be able to finish it out on the road.
All right. Wait, you have coronavirus. Are you wearing a mask while you're talking to us so we don't get sick?
You're going to get it through that 5G.
Nah, man. Unfortunately, Case is gonna be a sad night in Boston tomorrow. Like Boston Massacre. What's
Yeah.
Boston Tea Party? What references can I use?
The Boston Marathon.
Yeah, it's gonna be chasing Curry around. It's definitely a marathon in Boston. So, nah, that's a wrap, man. Anything's possible. Not this time. Sorry.
Yeah, I hear you. The thing is the last game they needed to take advantage of the fact that Curry only had, 20-ish and no threes? That's not going to happen again.
Right.
Now he has 16. He has 16 and 8. 0 for 9 from 3.
Didn't even have 20.
Yep, didn't even have
That's
20.
not going to happen again. So it's just they needed to take advantage of that and not turn the ball over 20 times.
What do you think they can do to control the ball so they don't turn it over? If they don't have a true point guard, we're calling Tatum the point guard. Who do you think they have to rely on in order to take care of the ball?
So I think it starts on the defensive end of the floor, actually. They need to make sure that they get rebounds and don't give Steph and Clay and even Poole second chances. And then they got to run the break. When that was at Game 4 or Game 5, they actually got out and ran quite a bit. And I think that really helped them.
I thought the same thing, that they have to get those rebounds to not give Golden State any second chance opportunities. I think that's going to be number one. Boxing out, getting physical with Golden State
Andrew
early.
Rodman down there, man. He's getting every offensive board. Andrew Rodman. We got Dennis Green. We got 2 people down there just getting all the boards. Now,
Yeah, and I did think the officiating was pretty poor in the last game. That's not why they lost. You can't turn the ball 28 times.
Right.
I would agree with
you. The officiating was poor. And if they can get the Warriors in a little bit of foul trouble, run the break a little bit, I think that they'll have a better chance, even if they are going to give up 30 to Steph, because that's just going to be table stakes.
Dude, yeah, that's a pretty good point. And like in Game 4, Boston did some of those similar things, and was still up with 4 minutes to play. They almost survived Curry's 43, whereas they don't survive Curry's 16 and 0 for 9 last night. So they definitely have got the ability to get it done.
Yeah, they had 18 turnovers.
Just got to put it together a full 48 minutes.
22 points off the turnover.
Yep.
Yeah, 18 turnovers to the Warriors, 6 turnovers will definitely do that. And they scored 22 points off of turnovers while the Celtics only had 9. Warriors was putting them on the line a lot, though. They had 2018 fouls, so they was hacking them.
Yep. All right, bud, what's for dinner tonight? What's Nicole cooking?
We just finished supper, actually, so we had pasta bolognese.
Lobster roll. Oh, bolognese. All right, watching Sopranos.
Oh, I wish. Lobster roll's been on my menu lately. I love a good lobster roll.
All right, buddy. Well, you scout the spots out. It was good talking to you. Good take.
Likewise. Thanks for having me on, fellas. Have a great
Thanks
night.
for calling in, man. Make sure you share this out for us.
Yeah, share this out there in Boston, because they're not going to like what I have to say, so I need them to see it.
Fair enough.
All right, bro.
Appreciate
Later,
it,
pal.
Later, fellas.
My guy.
Hey, who's going to be the next caller here on That's Debatable? I like what we just had there. A nice Boston experience, a hometown favorite.
He's
I like what he had to say right there.
He's got that Nebraska accent.
He said a lot of cute things, man. It was a lot of the stuff. You wanted to hear the stuff he said. Like, that's what you had.
He must have been listening to what I said earlier, because he kind of reiterated what I had said. They got to get those rebounds.
Or they just know their basketball and they know what they got to do to get it done tomorrow night.
Or they're just hopeful.
Well, I mean, what do you want, man? You want them to not be?
Anything is possible. We're gonna keep writing on that one, man.
Of course not. They can be hopeful all they want to. KG said it best, but they don't got KG in this mess.
Holy smokes!
This dude,
all right.
Somebody get this fire extinguisher for this guy, man. Put him out, because that's what Golden State's hoping to do. But I don't think Boston's gonna be able to, just go lay down easy,
Yeah,
roll over, and go easy into the night.
It's gonna be a flood in a
Update.
garden. A flood in the garden.
Colorado
It's
Avalanche
gonna be a
up.
splash warning.
They're up 2-1.
Oh, 2-1. We get
that's
some
what happened.
offense going on.
Who up 2-1?
Colorado's up
The winner.
2-1. They can both score pretty fast. Nathan McKinnon's about the fastest dude on ice. Let me find.
Hey, Chad, what you guys think? You guys like seeing an offensive shootout, or you like more of the defensive game?
You talking hockey or basketball?
I mean, we talking hockey right now. It's 2-1. They kind of coming out fast and aggressive. Still,
I would like to see a lot of goals in hockey too.
Yes. That's exactly what you want to see. Like, Will, you mentioned the 8-6 game. It was nuts. Avs were up 7-4 or 7-3 at one point in like the early second. Man, it was back and forth. Like, that's the thing. I never turn off a hockey game.
Right.
Because, I mean, it's just bang, bang, it can turn around real quick. Versus sometimes, an NBA gets down 17. It takes a little bit longer. It's just, I don't know, hockey, it's just exciting and fast-paced. So anybody out there in the chat, if you want to jump in, I threw my phone number in there. Give me a holler. We're talking Avs. You can talk whatever you want. WNBA's on tonight. Kyler wants to, I saw him talking about Kyler Murray's contract in the NFL, which I don't think he deserves.
I heard Lamar Jackson might went out. It's a lot of stuff. We got to start picking up on our NFL news. It's a lot of stuff going on. Training camp is about to start. Baker Mayfield's still not traded, and I just made my pro Baker post today, and some of these Browns fans who
stuff I've seen on the internet today.
What about Baker?
What you said?
Oh man, it's bro. So he didn't put him back on. Like, when was the Browns relevant before Baker Mayfield? Do we have to go back to Jim Brown?
No, it can't be that far, but
I mean, when Peyton Hillis was on the cover of Madden.
But it's also like, it's not just Baker. Like,
I know
he does not
it's
get credit for getting one playoff win. Congratulations. Like, I mean, we're throwing flowers for one playoff win now. So give Kyler Murray $50 million a year for one playoff win, right?
He didn't win.
Oh, even better.
So that's why he didn't win the playoffs.
I mean,
he didn't win, and he can't. Kyler Murray ain't getting paid because he can't. He hasn't proven he can stay healthy for a full season.
But that's what
Clearly he has
this
the
is
talent.
what they're talking about, and that's what they want. And don't him and Kingsbury have the same agent? Like, is this just a ploy to get paid?
And that was his my fault. That was Kingsbury. Like, that was his hand-picked guy, and they got rid of Rosen for him.
It's just nepotism. Bring my buddy in and pay him $50 million, even though he sucks and we can barely get to the playoffs.
Obviously, Kingsbury don't control whether or not Kyler get paid or not.
Right.
But
they got the same agent.
His career is banking on Kyler's success as well.
They got the same agent.
Yeah, his agent's career is banking on Kyler's success because without the guy, you can't do anything.
What a sham, man! They're just fleecing the Cardinals. I do not think he should get paid that for any reason whatsoever.
He can't. Like I said, I like Baker, Kyler as a talent, but he ain't gonna get paid. We don't know when he's gonna get paid. He might have to go the franchise tag route, unfortunately. But he got to show. He also got to show he can stay healthy for a full season. The past 2 years, the Cardinals, he hasn't been able to finish the job. And then, don't even get me started on his playoff game.
I love it.
That last pass that he threw at the goal line, pick six. Like, bro, don't get me started on Kyler.
Man.
Yeah, that's why he ain't got paid yet. So you can unfriend and unfollow every person you want from the organization. It's not gonna get you your dough. Your health is your wealth. That's literally what happens. That's also why Baker Mayfield is in the same predicament. So under that same post that you said was garbage, somebody who agreed with me said that my man Coach K, Kevin Stefanski, is the one that kept Baker out there. Which
Call him Coach K now.
What's his name start with?
I understand.
Kevin Stefanski.
Stefanski, Coach S. Coach K is Krzyzewski. It starts with a K.
Who retired?
His last name starts with a K.
Didn't he retire?
Mike Krzyzewski.
He's no longer a coach.
I know, but the Coach K.
That's why I also said Coach K, Kevin Stefanski. I finished it out for the guys who want to give that nod. But
Dude, that's
also,
funny.
I'm not pro Coach K. Don't get me wrong. I'm not pro Coach K either. As far as Krzyzewski, because I'm a Carolina Tar Heel. But
You like
anyways,
Stefanski? Are you pro Stefanski?
Are you
Yes.
pro Browns?
I mean, you're not a
right now?
Browns
I
guy,
am biased. Nah, because I don't like how they're handling the Deshaun shit stuff. I don't like. Well, actually, they're not doing nothing wrong with the Deshaun stuff. They the one that took the leap and paid him the money. So
Dude.
it's the Texans I'm mad at. It's the women I'm mad at. Deshaun, you shouldn't have just been. You should have just been, bro. Like, bro, I don't know, man. You got yourself in a situation. But I feel like he innocent. What was on that head? She need to change
that's
that. helmet.
speak freely. You can,
But
because that's a big thing. A lot of this is, I mean, a lot of it's he said, she said, but
he can't say
the
a lot.
Texans
He can't
did
do
the
much.
Texans
He really
did
can't
a
even
whole lot to
apologize.
protect him, man.
Like I'm pro. I'm only pro Coach K Stefanski because he comes from Minnesota.
Gotcha.
When he was our OC, we went to the NFC Championship game. That's the last. But I mean, I'm cool with him, all that stuff. He wasn't our coach. It's a wrap. But I don't. He's the reason why Baker and himself hurt Baker. Baker should have sat instead of played.
Yep.
And he should have sat Baker instead of played him. Somebody should have been the big person. But he thought going out there and playing under those circumstances would get him, and now it's got him being talked about like he is. I don't think he was necessarily a bad quarterback. He's decent. Like, there's only a few elite quarterbacks.
Yeah.
But as far as that next tier, he right in there. He ain't at the bottom. He's not the worst of the worst, and he's definitely could be a franchise starter. I feel like he belongs in the dome. He definitely belongs in the dome. So Seattle and Carolina ain't gonna work. Carolina better not make that move because that's sending, like I said earlier, that's sending him to NFL purgatory.
Man,
He's just gonna fail.
I try to wait for you to get done, man. I just want to make sure I'm clear what you're saying.
What?
You saying he's not an elite quarterback? We're talking about Baker Mayfield still, correct?
Yeah.
I know sometimes I may have zoned out, got lost in your translation.
Come on, man. Speak.
Baker Mayfield is under the elite. If we're looking
That's
at
not
that
what I said.
pyramid, that's what I'm trying to clarify.
Well, yeah, then you should have been listening. I said, I know he's not elite. There's a certain amount of elite guys.
So if we got that pyramid that we always see, we got the top tier, that number one Tom Brady probably at the top, who everybody's going to put right there at the top. Then you got that class B, which is where my man Joe B is at.
Is he?
For sure.
How?
Man, come on.
He only had
Super
1
Bowl.
year.
Super Bowl, bro.
He
That's all you
didn't
gotta
win
say. So, anyways, he's not even in that same category with Joe B. Are you putting him in that category
Why
with Joe
ain't
B? That's a yes or no question.
Baker Mayfield? Baker Mayfield is not in the same category.
Okay, I just asked why ain't he?
Because he's not, man.
That's
Like,
not
what
an answer.
has he done to
Elaborate.
prove that he can, make plays when it counts?
One playoff win, man. He has one playoff win.
I mean, he had one playoff run. Joe Burrow also had one playoff run.
No, we had a run. He had a game.
He had 2 games. He
Lost
won.
the second one.
Okay, to the Chiefs.
So that's not a run. That's a
he
little
lost to the
spurt.
team that went to the Super Bowl.
I'm not putting
And
him
y'all
up
beat-
in the upper echelon of
I'm
like,
not-
he's like a C
okay.
a C player to me.
I'll give him a B minus, B plus, a B. He's starter quality in the NFL.
I mean, I expect that from somebody like
Hang
you say.
on.
You go behind Kirk Cousins, doesn't he? You know,
You're giving him a
Kirk
C.
Cousins is in
you're
that
giving him a
mid-tier,
C
too.
and you're giving him a B, and you say he's a starting quarterback. Like Canis, aren't there starting quarterbacks in the NFL that are C grades or even
like,
D grades?
you're talking about he's down there with he's better. Like, he's not Drew Lock. He's not Sam Darnold. He's not who else?
Correct.
What's my man?
Would you rather have Matt Ryan or Baker Mayfield?
On veteranship, but he can have a Matt Ryan ceiling. Get him in a dome. Get him the right offensive coordinator, and let him be healthy.
But it's football, man. It's played outside. Get me in a dome. What kind of thing is that for a quarterback?
I think when you get
is
Baker,
he better than Jimmy G? Yes.
No. They see that, but I'd say they're right.
they're in that same class.
tier.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
But you
Okay,
can
that's a
win
different
with-
class.
But the thing about
It goes Wentz, Mayfield, somebody.
Wentz is down there with locking them, and I don't even know why they keep giving that man chances. Maybe because he's 6'5" and he got a cannon.
Put pressure on Baker. You can get him rattled real good.
He had a good line in what's the name? They had a good recipe for success, except for the fact that they played him while he was hurt. That's the only thing. They had to
They got a good
run the
roster.
ball. Defense.
They've got a good team.
That's the thing.
They're not
You
relying
can
on
win with
Baker.
a quarterback. So you telling me a championship quarterback? Give me. What's my man's name for the Ravens?
Lamar.
No,
Jackson?
no. I'm talking about championship.
Flacco?
Trent Dilfer. Trent Dilfer won a championship.
Joe Flacco did too.
Trent Dilfer did it behind that defense too.
Right.
But the quarterbacks like that could do that.
You can hand the ball off
Give
to
him-
Ray Rice.
That's
you
what,
know
like,
what I mean?
exactly. Jimmy G, man. That Niners team, like, Jimmy G wasn't getting him to the Super Bowl.
You just
the
have to
team was
manage.
getting him to the Super Bowl. Jimmy G was, doing his thing. And at a couple points, him not being able to throw
that postseason
downfield
run,
and
y'all got to
turning it
run y'all
over.
tail off. That last postseason run,
Exactly.
because y'all played my Vikings depleted on defense, couldn't stop the run, beat us by 20-37, I believe the score was. Y'all also beat the Packers by 37 or by 17 as well, or something like that.
Not last year.
No, it was 2 years ago, or whatever that year was.
2019.
Three, whatever, long ago.
Right, but that's
2020, I think, actually, wasn't it?
So that's why that's why I'm
But-
saying Jimmy G's a better quarterback than Baker Mayfield. He can,
Matt Ryan all day.
but they're pretty close, man. I mean, Baker it's the most interceptions since 2018. Baker Mayfield with like almost 60. You can't turn the ball over, and that's my beef with Jimmy. Is he made a couple bad plays, made some bad mistakes under duress, and he turns it over, and that's. I say it all the time. Can't turn the ball over.
I know it's next
That's what
man
makes
up
him
mentality
good. Right.
in all sports, but the only nod I give to Baker
Kirk Cousins is definitely a top 10 quarterback, and unfortunately, he's somewhere like around 10. But he's in there, or he could be knocked out. Some of these young guys is coming along that could knock Kirk out. That's why we need to see. I'm commenting off of the chat. It didn't just come random, but it is literally the last comment. Y'all trolling tonight. I see, bro. We ain't trolling. I'm on some serious stuff, bro. Baker Mayfield is a starting quarterback. I don't care what nobody say.
Like I said,
That means like that isn't quite what you think
But
it is, though. Like
I think he's somewhere in the
there's
middle.
some
And
shitty
if
starting quarterbacks in the NFL.
the
That's just the
It
way it
is.
is.
and he's
man.
not around the bottom. He's somewhere in the mid pack. After the
Great.
you got the top of the top. Then the unproven young guys.
Case Keenum could deliver the same results as Baker Mayfield last year.
I will give you that because Case Keenum also took a team to the NFC Championship game. If the defense is a top 5 defense,
Damn.
you got a top 5 run game, and you got
3-1, baby.
you got some weapons. You got some weapons like Diggs and Thielen to throw it to.
and that's where I was going with it. That he didn't have the best weapons. You had Beckham getting hurt and then getting traded. You
And
had
they
Landry
blasted him on his way out.
getting he was leaving or not leaving, but Landry getting hurt. The tight end Njoku or
He always was hurt, and he's somewhere else now too.
Njoku?
Yeah.
Didn't he sign with the Browns a huge contract?
Nah, I thought he was in Miami or something. I thought he left. He got drafted to Cleveland, I know.
No, dude.
But
Pulled up.
the strongest thing they have on that team is that run game, and I think that offense predicates on that run game. You're letting Baker.
we're talking about a Baker team, but
It's not a Baker team.
I'm just
That's
saying-
more of a Nick Chubb team.
Yeah, 3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks ago, Njoku agrees to 4-year, $57 million extension.
with the Browns,
Yeah.
then he must have got in trouble. Then
We keep
Something-
talking
I
about
just seen
Baker,
it.
man. That's
But
the
no,
Deshaun Watson team.
But
After the
no,
dust cleared,
it is
we talking
Deshaun
about
Watson's
D-Watt.
team. All I'm saying is Baker is a starting quarterback in this league, and if you get him somewhere nice, if he go to New Orleans,
Is he a starter? Matter of fact, I'm gonna say this: I'd
Yeah.
rather have Colin Kaepernick to come in before I have him Baker Mayfield
Would you
come
rather
in and
have
play.
Jacoby Brissett?
I don't want Colin Kaepernick nowhere
How
near
about
my
Jacoby
team.
Brissett, the dude that's on the roster?
No,
Yes.
no.
You're taking Brissett over
Taking
Baker?
Jacoby.
No, you're not.
If
Because
D-Watt
you want the
can't
Browns
play,
to be bad to help your Bengals.
I mean,
no.
they scuffed us up pretty good, but
Actually,
it wasn't because of
what
them.
is Baker's record against your Bengals? Can you tell me that? Have the Bengals ever beat them? Have the Bengals ever beat them? Have the Bengals ever beat them?
They lost to Nick Chubb.
Have the Bengals ever beat Baker
They lost
Mayfield?
to Nick Chubb. They didn't lose.
Answer the God.
Man, we put up the stats
Answer
right
the
now.
goddamn
Damn, is that
question.
really?
Has Baker Mayfield ever been? Has the Bengals ever beat the
I mean,
Browns? No.
Damn.
I believe they whooped. 2 of them losses last year came to the Browns.
Check the stats on Nick Chubbs. He ran over him. That's the only
Listen
thing
here.
they did. He manages the game very well. But are you putting
Not
the ball
even
in
that
his
well.
hands and telling him to drive downfield and go get me a win? No, you saying hand the ball off to Chubbs and get me my yards.
That's what
3
they
yards in the cloud of dust is why they rose.
What they should be doing.
Like I
they
said,
do
have
ask
the
Baker to
Bengals
throw it
ever
down,
beat
and that's why
Baker?
they
Even in
lose.
that championship season, they lost to Baker twice.
Yep.
So I don't want to hear it.
I ain't debating that one. I'm saying they not relying on Nick
It's
Chubbs.
not debatable.
They not relying on Baker. They giving it all to Chubbs.
That's one of those dumbass stats that's like, you're right. Technically, the Bengals haven't beat Baker.
Smoke they boots.
But
game's not close.
It's team. And that's what we're talking about, the team, man. It's like the best
That
run.
team went to the championship.
The best
Lost
run
to Baker
game.
twice.
And that happens.
It happens. I'm taking Baker Mayfield over Jacoby Brissett because Jacoby Brissett is actually a backup in this league. He can hold the fort down.
So is Baker.
No, he's not. Backups don't get you wins in the playoffs. They don't take you to the playoffs.
They don't
either.
get you win in the playoff. Not wins.
Hey, he lost a good game to the Chiefs, and that's when what's my man name? Anything is possible. Was
Tyler Heineke?
Nah, it wasn't Heineke. Heineke. No, it was Henny. Taylor Henny. No.
Tyler.
Henny. Anything is possible. All I know that was after he won that game because they Chad Henny.
Of course
Yep.
it's Chad.
And he from Michigan. I don't know. I don't care where he's from. But yeah, anything is possible. That's the team he lost to, and he beat the Squealers. When the last time the Bengals beat the Steelers in the playoffs?
All right.
They ain't make it to the playoffs.
Baker ain't a
Actually, they
starter.
did.
All right, that's the debate.
They should have made it.
And that's why you should have gave them. Remember, that's why I was trying to get you to give Big Ben his flowers on his way out, and you wouldn't do it.
I gave Big Ben his flowers.
You gave him like a petal.
Dude, I'm just leaving. Isn't mid the new thing? Like he ain't that good? Isn't that what millennials and Gen Zs are throwing around now? Mid. Anyway, Baker sucks. He's a backup. It's Jacoby Brissett's team. Deshaun Watson, man, we don't know.
You said Shar said, "Give me the list of what the top 10 quarterbacks." All I'm saying is, if you got a top 10 quarterback that still is unproven,
you want your QB. I don't know.
He was my QB top 10. I'm not about to go off the top of my head.
No,
but because I need the stats and I need
release a special.
All I know is the top 5, and I know who's at 1. And it's Tom.
Hey, we coming real soon. It's gonna be football season right around the corner. So that top 10 list will be coming back.
I'm trying to figure out, should I be pro Browns just to go against you? Or to go against the Browns fans too? Should I be pro Ravens? I don't know because I like Lamar. I like Deshaun. He a little nasty though. I like Deshaun.
You calling that man nasty, bro?
Because with the man,
Yeah,
he's doing some nasty stuff.
That's a man. You know
That's a man, and my man has some knees.
Right? Skis ball.
He said,
I'm on the side of Deshaun. I'm gonna come out and say, I got your back, Deshaun, man. Come on. Like I said, I ain't a fan of Cleveland, but I roll with D-Watt, and I want to see the man succeed.
When the Browns take over Ohio, you're going to be
They
disappointed.
ain't taking over. We here to stay, man. 5-1-3 ain't going
You know what
nowhere.
I'm waiting on?
Believe that
I'm
one.
waiting on with them contracts. Because you know who's one of the cheapest owners out there?
It'll be us.
Yeah. So
we know that.
Y'all cool right
We
now.
smart, though.
Y'all
We're making the moves that need to be made.
I hope so. But this is the only thing I'm concerned about when it come to y'all. And with this wide receiver money going crazy, with this DB, with this quarterback money going crazy, I wonder what they're going to do when it's time to pay them boys.
Right.
That's the only thing I'm worried about. But they still rookie deals. They can sign whoever, do whatever. But that's only going to last for a certain amount of time.
Rings and stuff and championships.
And what type of person is Joe Burrow going to be? Is he going to be the type to take a little less? So
that's what I was saying. That's what I was about to say.
Others could eat because he got a nice core. I would want to keep that corpse together. The receiver corpse doesn't have to go anywhere.
I mean, we already lost C.J. Uzama. So, I mean, that's
the tight end.
That was a tight end.
Nah,
yeah,
he wanted,
left out.
He wanted to. I forgot, where did he go? No, he went
to the Jets.
Yeah. No, he just went out on a limb because if I was him, I would have stayed. But I think if I'm Burrow, it's a lot of stuff that could happen in Cincinnati, though. But for real, I don't know what they're going to do with Baker Mayfield. I really do think that Baker Mayfield is a decent quarterback.
That's.
But it's certain, like, if you send him.
I don't know if they'll keep. If Watson gets suspended for 8.
For the 8 games.
I don't know. They'll try to keep him around. Man, that's the. It's just we're stuck in this just dumb limbo. Like we just gotta wait.
Training
and see.
camp about to start.
So all we can do is just talk about dumb shit. All we can.
We just gonna it's gonna happen soon. They're gonna have to make their move. Like Baker can't. Once the season starts, I don't believe he'll still be on the roster.
So okay,
that's
you
like they ain't really holding
into
him
what I
hostage.
wanted to ask you.
What?
Because you put him on a B tier level. What kind of trade value is what you want to get out of him?
Oh, the value is gone because of the situation that the Browns is in. They didn't make that. See, if they would have kept Deshaun Watson stuff quiet and then was working on a deal for Baker beforehand, before teams knew what was going on, he would have had a bigger trade package. But also his value went down because he played through injury, and it didn't last. High people really had high expectations for the Browns. High expectations, Super Bowl expectations. Actually, I felt like they had AFC Championship possibility going into the season. We talking about going into the season. Nobody knew the Bengals was going to be the Bengals. Well, I ain't gonna lie, you actually called it on draft night, but I still feel like that was just a fan in you. I don't know if that was the analyst or like you really took the time to like, nah, the Bengals. I see it. Because a piece of me feel like that about my Vikings, but not because they're my Vikings.
Right.
It's because they really got a lot of talent on that team and they waiting to pop. But I try to stay off of it because I am a fan of that team. So it would never be seen as I called it. But like you did call it draft night, I give you that. But like I said, I don't know if that was because you was a fan or not. But Baker's value is down.
Boy recognizes talent.
And the other team, but I mean Jamar Chase.
Oh yeah, Baker's talent's way down.
No, his value's down.
His value's down.
His talent.
So, I mean, if you're a GM, what are you offering for the likes of Baker Mayfield?
First, I will see what the Browns are actually wanting for Baker Mayfield if I'm the GM. If I'm interested, if I'm a GM in this position to make the trade, I will see what the Browns want first.
Let me ask you even more simpler. Is Baker Mayfield worth a first or second round draft pick?
No, not now. Because if he was, they wouldn't have necessarily. Well, not Deshaun Watson would still want to. I would jump at that chance to get Deshaun Watson too. I wanted the Vikings to jump and get him. He was rumored to go to Minnesota. There was some rumors of Deshaun Watson in Minnesota, I promise you. But it didn't happen. We're not going to take that risk.
So you put, just to make this clear.
So would I trade a 1 for 2 for him? No. Not now.
Is Baker Mayfield on the same level and are him and Matt Ryan in the same class? Like in the same tier?
You take Matt Ryan.
I would take Matt Ryan.
Because they traded
are they
Matt
on the
Ryan.
same tier? Yeah.
They traded Matt Ryan to the Colts for a third round
All right,
pick.
what we're going to do is...
I thought it was
just
like a
have to
fifth round
We're
pick.
just going to have to make our own quarterback
Nope, third.
tiers for next week.
No, I
Duke
thought it was like a
out.
fifth. I thought it was something so low. Because I felt like that the Falcons could have got more for Matt Ryan.
Third.
They sent him where he wanted to go. Like the Falcons did Matt Ryan a solid, but you got to think Matt Ryan's a former MVP in this league. Like that's why, and he did take a team to the Super Bowl.
And he's a little bit older than Baker too.
So that's
A little bit.
A lot of bit.
Like but he's somewhere. Like we still gotta wait and see with Baker. But I feel like the Browns should not even another team should try to trade for him because the situation now is the situation now. So I'm not giving up my assets my assets to get him because I know y'all want to get rid of him. I'm not. So you're not going to get something good out of me, and I know you got to get off this man. Like they're not going to want to pay him his $19 million. So his value is low because of that, his play, and his health. I think he just went into surgery or just came out of surgery or something like that for his labrum. Damn it. But the best way to see what Baker's value is to release him, and then to see if he make it through waivers. Because all 32 teams get to look at the waivers.
Right.
So, and if he make it through that, see what the contract is. Like I don't think he gonna get signed to no vet minimum or nothing like that. And then see what decision he make. Because if I'm Baker, I might sit it out. Why not go to Tampa, sit behind Tom? Why not go somewhere where it could be a good situation for your future?
He
Because
doesn't get to choose where he goes, man.
no, I'm talking about
He doesn't get to choose where he
the
goes.
Browns. This is only if Browns released him. He do get to choose.
Why are they going to do that? It's going to cost them a lot of money.
It's gonna cost him money either way. Nobody's gonna make the trade. Now, unless the Panthers make this
somebody
trade,
will. Some
are,
quarterback will be hurt within the first before the regular season even starts.
And that's how you're going to move him.
Right, you're gonna have a brand new.
I would offer an undrafted free agent.
I mean,
So what you got on Kyler, man?
What
You
they're
got
gonna-
Kyler's name up there also.
oh well, I got nothing. His contract.
It's
So it's
Kyler
moving
news.
along.
Lamar news. Lamar and Kyler want to get paid.
That's all I got on the NFL.
Like-
really.
I seen that the issue with Lamar. A lot of Deshaun Watson just got $230 million guaranteed, and they're looking at that. And Deshaun Watson missed the whole season. He only won one playoff game, and all he did was lead the league in passing the last time he played. That's all he did. I don't even think he made the playoffs. I think
his upside that they're looking at more than anything is the possibility of what he can do.
That's why. And it's the Browns. They plunged. They like a lot of the other teams feel like they shouldn't have did that, and they shouldn't have offered him all of that money because it hurts. Because teams like the Ravens, now Lamar's going to want something similar to that, and Lamar's resume is actually better than Deshaun Watson's. MVP, unanimous MVP.
Yeah, it's not even close.
Like it's not even close.
A bunch of owners
and he got a playoff win under his belt now. So
wrecking everybody's contracts from here on out.
Yeah, that's what they did. Like 2 teams did that this year, and I believe it was the Jags with the receiver, and what's my man's name that just got all that money?
Christian Kirk.
Yeah, and that led to everybody else getting all this money at a receiver.
Correct.
So and the Browns with the Deshaun money. Now every other quarterback that's waiting to get paid.
Yeah, general managers and owners are unanimously upset about that because it's guaranteed and it's dumb.
So what makes because Patrick Mahomes has a huge contract also.
Yeah, he's a champion.
The championship solidifies
100%.
A little bit more.
100%. That's what everybody allegedly plays for.
Well, and his isn't all guaranteed. I mean, his is a lot of incentive based towards the end in 10 years and blah 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 blah. So the big thing with Deshaun was that it was guaranteed. That was the first time in NFL history that something like that amount of money had been guaranteed.
Yeah.
As opposed to like baseball, where everything's guaranteed, which is the greatest thing ever. If you're a baseball player.
Yeah, but them long contracts in baseball, it sucks too. Like they got 10-year deals and 12-year deals as well.
I mean, it's good for that's the thing with no salary cap. Baseball pay them however much they want, so it doesn't.
Yeah, you can literally buy championships in baseball like the Yankees used to.
Braves are on a 13-game run. Bet on them yesterday. Hit that. God dang it. Excuse me.
I'm weak.
Well, let's see.
But Kyler, on the other hand, he has nothing to really bring to the table.
I don't understand why. I mean, I get why he wants a new deal, but
I mean, it's coming up.
It's just
they all pretty much the same draft class area, whether if they're a year apart. Because I don't know if Kyler and Lamar's in that same class. Kyler went number 1 overall. Now Lamar is in the Josh Allen Baker Mayfield class. I think Kyler's the year after that. Right. It's coming up. Kyler keep getting banged up. He want to make sure he get his deal solidified. But the problem is, Kyler keep getting banged up, so he ain't gonna be able to get his deal solidified. So it's like tug or pull. And then we haven't seen enough upside from Kyler to get that type of deal. Like I said, Lamar, while healthy, already got the most, probably the most winningest record. Took the Ravens to the playoffs every year he's been in there. We finally got his playoff win. He got a unanimous MVP. So he got a lot to argue, to bring to that table to try to get that type of money that Deshaun just got, because that's what he would want to get, because that's the new market. And Kyler, they're all going to want. They're looking at Josh Allen's money, stuff like that.
And one thing that Kyler, that Arizona is doing for Kyler, they're surrounding him with talent. I mean, with D-Hop, and now they brought in Hollywood Brown. They brought in Zach Ertz last year. I think they're surrounding him with enough to win, but it's. I don't know if his size always gets in the way.
Get banged up.
You hear a lot about his size.
They've been trying to surround him with enough to win the past few years. When they traded for Nuke, then they signed AJ Green last year, brought in JJ Watt. They did lose their starting linebacker to my Vikings, but they've been trying to get Kyler in a winning situation, and they started off 11-0, 12-0, 10-0, something like that. I think it went all downhill from there. And then it ends with Kyler Murray throwing an interception at the goal line in the playoffs. Like Kyler Murray doesn't have any feathers in his cap for real. He to really be a top paid quarterback, and that's what he's going to want. But he does his play. We can't just go off of your arm strength and your accuracy.
Right.
Your height, unfortunately, he do it for the little guys. He my height. I appreciate you for being out there, though. But guys like me ain't big enough to make it in the NFL. And that's why come around week 12, he always banged up. He got to miss a game early in the midseason, like around 8, 7, 6, maybe. And then he missed some games later on.
I think 12. Experience comes with that one also. Because he's still fairly new, and his whole entire his type of play is that scrambling quarterback, and I think he's still learning to maybe stand in the pocket a little bit more, which I don't think he can. But I think that, his injuries come off of, the hits and trying to go the extra mile for his team. So I think like with time, maturity will come with him. And I think that the guys that they're putting around him will solidify his money issues. But I think he's willing to sit until he gets his contract.
Franchise tag route. He gonna follow the. Hey, it is nothing wrong with the Kirk Cousins path. Kirk Cousins really showed y'all how to make this money in the NFL. If you want a franchise tag, exploit it, because I really think that's what's gonna happen with Kyler. I hope that's not what happened with Lamar. Issue with Lamar is that I keep hearing that his mom is his agent. So like I don't know if you trying to. Somebody said something like you are owner negotiating with a player's mom to get your son $200 million. Like it's just if you got the credentials and stuff, it might work, but I don't know how that stuff takes effect or not. But Kyler doing the childish thing, he's talking about maturity, but he's doing the unfollow. Like there's this new wave of the way to show that they unfollow their teams, their coaches, their players.
That's called making a statement.
Yeah, I also wonder who notices this stuff. Like who's going through each of their followers to figure out that dang, Kyler Murray just unfollowed the Cardinals. He just unfollowed his coach Kingsbury. Like, first of all, why you even follow your coach? But I don't know. That's the new thing. Like the Migos just unfollowed each other, and now we were rumored. I know that's hip hop, but it's just a new thing. Like AB unfollowed stuff. Just they're just doing this unfollow thing. Who else unfollowed the person again? Deshaun Watson. Yeah, Debo. Unfollowed the 49ers, stuff like that. But I just think that's the new wave. It's childish and it's whack to me. Like, because the follow don't even matter. You unfollowed the team. It's like, so that means I'm going to pay you now? Nah, dog. Yeah, Kyler's going to go the franchise tag route. I hope that my man Lamar don't have to go that route. He earned it.
I know your play and your value and your body takes a banging, so you want to get the value, but Hey, Diggity in the chat just said, any O-line, do you take a pay cut? And that's what I wanted to know, too. Do you, in order to build a stronger team around you, how you were asking even about the Cincinnati earlier, do you take a little bit less money to solidify what you can build and continue to grow on a team? Sometimes you're going to have to take a little bit less money. You see Tom Brady has never been one of the top paid quarterbacks in the league, but he's done enough.
He's been around like 5'6", but he's never been the
top one. And his place should make him like number one, but he's
the GOAT.
He doesn't get the money in order to make sure that you got these key assets on your team. So I think that Kyler maybe we're talking about Lamar Jackson. Some of these guys should take the more of a championship build around me instead of taking cash is king and king me now type aspect and making sure that their team can win.
He says, so what do you think Kyler Murray is worth?
Yikes.
He ain't worth what Deshaun Watson got. I can tell you that. I'm not about to pay Kyler Murray $238 million guaranteed and not know if he can make it through a season, let alone take me to promised land. I don't like the Deshaun Watson. Like it's a lot with the Deshaun Watson. It's the Clemson and Alabama Deshaun Watson reminiscent.
You've seen glimpse of Deshaun against. I almost want to say it was Cincinnati in one of those games.
What
playoff game? Where he broke a tackle, spin out of a tackle and still got the touchdown. He has the strength, the power. He reminds me a lot of Cam Newton in his heyday. And I think
except he got Cam ain't have accuracy.
Oh, right. I think he has a chance to be one of those top premier quarterbacks. I know these allegations and his court stuff is right now the forefront, but I think he's the type of player that you can build a team around. I would definitely choose D-Watt over Kyler. Him and Jackson, that's 1A, 1B type thing. You can't go wrong with it. I'd definitely go on D-Watt over Baker. But
oh yeah, I mean I will give you that too. Deshaun Watson is in the elite class. I would but
$230 million worth. I don't know. That's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. Now coming off not knowing what will happen or what did happen or what will happen with Deshaun Watson or he coming off a year he didn't play to give him that money. It might be a little whatever, but it's the Browns, man. Baker put them in this position to even make that Deshaun Watson trade and that Deshaun Watson move. Got them thinking they're a championship team, which they got a championship caliber roster. We just see how it has to go. I don't like Amari Cooper being the number one. I'm not a fan of Amari. I think he don't show up in big games and he don't show up on the road. And I don't know who else they got at the receiver spot right now. But, of course, there's going to be a lot of Chubb, one of the top 5 backs in the league. Some people say 2, 3, 4. All I know is give me Dalvin Cook.
Hey, we got another Clevelander. I got my man James Arnold. Oh, cuz he right there up in Lorraine, Cleveland area. Call in. You see up at the chat, we got the number up at the top of the screen, man. Scroll up a little bit, find the chat, call in. Let me hear what you think about it. I keep seeing you saying Deshaun Watson ain't what he's worth. Let me hear your take on this, James.
You said especially with the off-field situation. Listen here, man. I don't want to say all these women is lying, but when all of these stories just sound like copy and paste to me, it's just weird. It's weird. And when I got women talking about businesses that they don't, talking about publicity for a business that's not even of massage therapy, complaining about my man, is like, why did you take this offer? Why did you bring him in? Why did you set this appointment for something you don't even do? And you got that on your page that you don't do this, but yet you still brought him in for this to happen. And then you still allowed everything to go. And all the uncomfortable crap, I don't want to hear about how uncomfortable you was when you went through with it. He didn't make you do anything. He didn't make anyone do anything. He asked, y'all did, he was pleased. Whatever. Now, all the little extra little nasty, saucy stuff he was doing, that's why he was being nasty and saucy. But this off-field situation is just, it's a tough situation. And it's like, I don't know, 5-10 years from now, how we going to look back on this situation. Deshaun Watson could definitely change his own narrative, but, you know, brothers got to be perfect out there.
For sure.
So he already got a little asterisk by his name, big asterisk, regardless if he's clear of this mess or not.
Yeah.
And if he's not clear of this mess, again,
it's going to follow him for a little while, too.
He didn't put any pills in nobody's drinks. He didn't take anybody against their will. He didn't hold nobody at gunpoint. None of that. He actually set up these women, set these appointments up, took these appointments, and went through with everything.
So where does he go wrong? That's one of the things that I want to know. Like, how are you going through with the whole entire act? You know, seeing this man with the little hand towel, and you still finishing. You know, you're still giving him to the end. It don't make no sense, but I mean,
it's just
the on the field part of Deshaun. I think that if we're talking about the on the field stuff, I think he does not deserve the money. It's other quarterbacks around the league that's actually been proven, but I think he definitely is a transcending type of player where he's going to make moves in the future. If he definitely will having that run game behind him, he still got to get a couple receivers to actually throw it to him in Cleveland. But
he's such a playmaker, though. In his case, though, he's such a playmaker. He'll make it happen. He'll make it happen. He'll find a way, because that's the type of player he is. Not the like the Browns do got them one, and now. Whenever we make it through this mess, I am so excited for the Battle of Ohio from here on out. Just because, like, I don't know if I've ever been excited for the Battle of Ohio. I don't know how you've been feeling, even in the being a fan of one of them. But like, either one side is good and the other side's not. I mean, I don't even remember if the games are always competitive. Like, I don't be locked in. But Deshaun Watson, Joe Burrow, now that's box office. That's Sunday night football, Monday night football. That's the type of stuff we want to see. That's the type of stuff we want to see. But off-field situation, I just think a lot of that is BS. Some of it is like, he might have been in these situations. He might have hit up 66 different women. Out of them 66, some of them went. And some of them was happy to go. And some of them went, and whether they claim to be uncomfortable, that just sound like one of the words that keep being used over and over again, how uncomfortable these women was. I just still feel like he should have just found a woman that was more comfortable. He should have just kept paying the ones that was going instead of keep trying to find new ones. But everybody got their own thing. And if he want a different masseuse for every day of the week, if he want a different masseuse for every day of the week, so be it. I want this woman, that woman, that woman.
3 months.
Like, if that it is what different it is. The rumors of Wilt. I brought up Wilt before. Like the 1,000 women a day or what. 10,
Or just, hire
however
an
women
escort.
he used
You're
to
a pro
like
athlete, man.
do
Pay
stuff
an
with.
escort. It's not that complicated.
But yeah, man, I just feel like after the release of what the Texans said, you gave the man NDAs, you gave him spots in hotels, you
assisted him.
Yeah, or the keyword enabled him, or they also
Protected him.
Yeah, but they also the ones that I feel like put all of this in motion.
Oh,
I think they're the ones that's behind this mess. It's a bigger
it's not real.
whether if you believe in conspiracies or how big the NFL can be behind the scenes. That's $1 billion industry, and they could do what they want. They could do what they want, and I feel like the Texans did what they wanted to do. All right, you went out and you control everything. All right, I got you. Remember that. Remember that one thing that I put in. Like I told you, it was an insurance policy, and they brought it up. That's what I feel like.
All right, gang. Few minutes left. Last thoughts, final comments. Second period is underway. Avalanche 3-1.
What quarter?
Second period.
Oh, they call them periods?
Yeah, there's only 3 of them. Quarters is 4. 1/4 is a quarter.
Yeah. Okay.
That's your math update. Brian's math.
I mean, it makes sense. But I guess I never knew that they went 3 periods.
Yeah.
What's 15 minutes?
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Yep. 20. 3-1, lots of scoring, lots of goals. What else? U.S. Open starts tomorrow for all my golfers out there. 6:45 a.m. Eastern is first tee time, boys. You going to be up and tuned in?
a.m. Life's great.
Somebody wanted us to touch on all this mess that's going on.
You'll be getting ready to get the kids ready to school.
With the
Live golf.
Golfers going overseas and being banned and stuff.
Well, there's
Live.
So the Live Tyler Tour. So PGA Tour. The PGA Tour has announced that they'll suspend players who join the Live Tour from PGA Tour events. The USGA, the United States Golf Association, is the association that puts on the U.S. Open. So technically the U.S. Open is not a PGA Tour event. So if you're in the Live Tour, you can still come over and play in the U.S. Open if you've qualified for it. The Masters is also the same way. As is the, what's the other one? The Open, the British Open. So there's technically 3 of the 4 majors are not PGA Tour events, so you can go do it. The big deal is a lot of people, the Live Tour, think they're just taking the money. It's a Saudi-backed tour, so obviously the Saudi government's up to, the main thing is the Jamal Khashoggi thing. Having a government execute a journalist, dismember him, and those things is pretty horrific. So, and a bunch of other things involved. So, kind of this Live Tour, PGA Tour going on. Rory, Brooks Koepka, some of the other guys, Justin Thomas. Rory's probably been the most outspoken. PGA Tour is all about legacy, tradition, playing on the same courses for 100 years, playing on the same courses that Jack Nicklaus won, Sam Snead, Ben Hogan, all these kinds of things. So PGA Tour is more about history, tradition, those things. PGA Tour has been around. They've got a monopoly on the professional golfers. It's the biggest league in the world. So some of the players have a little bit of issue with, sometimes how they're taken care of, some of the minute details of it. The Live Tour is the new flashy, hey, we're going to throw money at you. It's not the same format. John Rahm's made those comments. He said a real golf tournament is 4 days. There's a cut involved. You got to make the cut to play the weekend. It's about the tradition of, this is how it's been done forever. The Live Golf Tour plays 54 holes, It's 3 rounds, and they do a little bit team format, so it's a little bit different. Not quite a gimmick, but there's kind of the rundown in the division between the PGA Tour and the Live Tour. Live Tour might stick around for a couple years. We'll see, though. I mean, they're throwing piles and piles and piles of cash at these guys, and it's tough to make a living on the PGA Tour. Like,
right?
You think there is a lot of money out there, but those younger guys, they got to pay their own way. They got to pay caddies, all these expenses. There's a lot to it, and if you're out there missing cuts, if you miss a bunch of cuts for 10 months in a row, it's it's in the details, but we'll see what shakes out. It's always kind of good to have a little bit of competition to a league. I mean, even the XFL, USFL, whatever, you got to kind of have, that's part of the free market sort of thing is you got to have some competition to drive change, growth, and maybe improve the PGA Tour. So U.S. Open starts tomorrow. I'm not sure who I'm taking just yet. I like my guy Victor Hovland, however you want to pronounce it, but I just can't decide who I think's coming up. But I'm going to take Victor. He's been rolling. Will Zalatoris is a good pick too, I think. So we'll see. I'll be up bright and early. I might tune in. We'll see. But that's all we got here from the studio. This is episode 2 from Yamo Media. Obviously, the screen.
We didn't even get into the fact that I don't see.
So it ain't no matter.
People ain't paying to the set. I don't know. Some people. Yeah. But
so anyway, as you can tell, we're in our old digs.
Now in the city. Yep. So in our new location, the power is out. So we always are welcome home. This is our home, regardless of how far we go or how far we take it. Score on Air is our home, and we're not. This is still through Yamo, but we are in the Score on Air building, and this is what we planted our seeds from. And like I said, maybe one day the next kid or next young men or gals might be in this, see us, and want us to come in here and do
girls
a show.
in sports,
and see us one day want to come in here and give them some ratings for their show, stuff like that, and help them out, or really want to just debate us like somebody from this spot. And I can see that happening one day, and I'm gonna always be open, especially to somebody that's from the same spot I'm from. Shout out to Score and shout out to Ohio Media School. It almost feels good to be home, but I love our new spot too.
I like the new digs.
I definitely like the new digs. It's much more space. But it's cool.
So that's where we're at.
So hopefully everybody in the city.
Hopefully you get power back on.
Yeah, I heard one of the guys I checked in today. I had to go sleep in a hotel because of the power went out and everything. So everybody, prayers to the people around the city. Hopefully everything get back right. Power gets situated. I don't know. I don't even remember. I don't know officially why it happened. A lot of people.
It's power grid.
Yeah, they're.
And that type of stuff scares me. I see too many movies where they control the power. Like when somebody hit a switch.
Well, that's literally what's going on. AEP. So due to high temperatures, there's a huge draw on the power grid, and the power grid can't support it. So instead of like the whole thing giving out, they start blocking off compartments of it to sort of spread out all of it. So that becomes the whole thing of power. Keeping the affluent communities with power and shutting down all the poor neighborhoods and things like that. I mean, that's when you start getting into that sort of thing. So who gets to decide who gets power, man?
Yeah, I think that's a higher up situation, just like that Bill Cosby situation he brought up. I don't think it's nothing like the Bill Cosby situation. He wasn't taking these girls against their will. And he paid every single. Did anybody go on? I know we about to get on air, but did any female go on air and say he didn't pay me?
I have no idea.
Did anybody tell me that? Or did anybody say I was so disgusted that I didn't even want his money? Did anybody say that? I heard a girl say that they complained that Deshaun Watson got that $238 million.
If they did, they aren't filing a claim.
Yeah. So, but shouldn't that? Oh no, but they still let them pay for the service. Oh, okay. Like I said, and man, that's a whole nother. He was
in for another week. That's
debatable. Big
that's
towel,
on topic for
small
the next
towel.
Weeks.
It's gonna be
wink soap. All that nasty, all your stomach, whatever, all that nasty type stuff, filth. But the extra stuff that they trying to throw on my guy, nah, man, he ain't. Nah, these girls knew what they was doing, and I feel like it's a script, and they reading a book right now, all of them. But but this is That's Debatable. We are That's Debatable. I believe next Wednesday's my B-Day. I'll be the big 2-9. If next Wednesday's the 23rd, I think it is. It's not
22nd. Thursday will be the 23rd.
Well, I guess my birthday's on Thursday. I guess I won't be having a show on my birthday like I thought I did. But we'll see up like it is my B-Day. We definitely gonna celebrate. Big 2-9. Everybody posting Debatable. Post everywhere. I appreciate the love. Like I said, this is That's Debatable. We are That's Debatable. It's good to be home. Paper toss.